Hi everyone, my name is Brett Bader from Sharp Jaguar Land Rover of Grand Rapids, and here we are, Motor One Day. Wanted to show off just a really cool engine that Jaguar Land Rover's been putting in a lot of their vehicles. So this is what they call the Ingenium P400. So that means 395 horsepower, twin-charged, inline six, actually. So really good motor, actually. It's been a solid one for us since the 2019 and a half model year Range Rover Sport, and we even now get it in things like this Jaguar F-Pace behind me. So let's take a look. All right, so we're headed to our classic test location here. And, you know, impressions on this vehicle generally. So, like we said, outside Carpathian Gray Metallic, ended up optioning the inside here as the light Oyster Windsor leather. So really premium look and feel. And as we're driving here, I mean, it's really just smooth, quiet, comfortable. It's just the classic Jaguar ride. And, I mean, just the sound deadening material they put in these cars. I mean, it's just minimal road noise and, you know, minimal traffic noise outside. But as far as the engine goes and the trim level and that kind of thing, the appeal here is still having our 0 to 60 time as 5.1 seconds, just without going all the way up to Jaguar's SVR with the V8 engine. Don't get me wrong, the SVR is a really cool vehicle, but it's rare that you're actually going to need that 0 to 60 that car gives in 4.5 with the V8. So a lot better gas mileage here, really similar 0 to 60 time, really similar feel, you know, for about 25,000 less. This car MSRP's right about 77.6 actually, so super solid for what it is. And then as a remaining 24, we have just absolutely exceptional programs on these vehicles right now. Check out what they have currently on them, because that does update on a month-to-month basis. But that said, as we kind of start to see our 25s roll in, they're really incentivizing these 2024s, especially if you're a current Jaguar or Land Rover owner. So as we kind of pull into our, you know, little test location, basically, first thing I'm going to do here is with the Jag F-Pace, it actually has this little drive selector dial. So I'm just going to push that up, and I turned it slightly to the left. Now I'm in dynamic mode. So see how it says like dynamic mode confirmed. Everything went red. We had the ambient interior lighting. You know, when the headlights are on, basically that turns on. Everything else goes red. We've really got two sport modes here. You know, we can either do the dynamic, but then you can combine that with the Sport Plus by shifting the shifter down just the one. So now I'm in my two sport modes here. We're going to do a quick little pull. See, and she's pretty quick. I mean, she will scoot for us, actually. And still, you can now kind of hear that engine noise, kind of get that turbo spooled up, basically. And really, that's where your twin-charged engine comes into play as well. You know, on our lower-end boosts, that electric supercharger really helps kind of keep the turbo spooled even at your lower RPMs, you know, because normally you'd have that kind of boost lag, that turbo lag, basically, and having both of them, it's a really smooth power band all the way through the RPMs as you're kind of accelerating. And having both of these modes on will just kind of keep those RPMs high and keeps that turbo spooled up with that boost going. So it's really cool. So another kind of 0 to 60 pull properly off the light. Yeah. So then, you know, you actually start to get the real, you know, all 395 horsepower out of this inline six engine. So yeah, super cool. You know, again, even though it's not the Rowdy V8 or what have you, it's still fast. I mean, that's the thing. Jag is never going to make a slow car. So I really like it. I've been super impressed, actually, by this engine just on the whole. And like I said, the versatility here, too. When it came out, this Ingenium setup got a lot of praise, actually, just in the automotive world generally, just for the ingenuity behind the design. For the longest time, we were using Ford's V6 block, actually, just supercharged, basically. And then after they released this engine setup as their own Jaguar Land Rover engine, it's basically just their P400, that is the 4-cylinder variant, with 2 more cylinders tagged on. So from a manufacturing standpoint and, you know, kind of a parts standpoint too, it's really practical, actually, because it's just a really easy way to kind of use the same general components for both engines. Actually, it was super smart. And, you know, to have a 400 horsepower, you know, almost 400 horsepower inline six, super solid engine. You know, I really couldn't be more impressed with what they've been doing with this particular setup. So we're headed back to the dealership here. I've switched it back over to comfort mode, basically, just for our kind of last little thoughts, impressions. And like I said, you know, on the whole, I really like this vehicle. I like the engine setup, I like the sound, I like the power. And again, it's just a lot more reasonable way to get into something that's, you know, both smooth glide, comfortable when you want it to be, but also still fast, you know, when you put it in the sport mode and everything like that. So again, my name's Brett Bader, Jaguar of Grand Rapids. This has been Motor Monday. We'll see you next week for another engine. Thank you.